Hello, this is Dr. Humphreys, and this is another tutorial on BandLab on how to create bass lines. This time I'm going to show you how to create a bass line using the pentatonic scale, and also at the same time I'm going to show you how to create a bass line if you don't have a MIDI keyboard at home. So the first thing to do will be create a new instrument. Here we've got our bass, so I click on the bass drawing just there. I click on it, and it opens up my instrument tab at the bottom here. Now, if it doesn't come to that screen, you just need to make sure at the bottom here you're not clicked on Effects or MIDI Editor, but you're on Instruments. And I should see a keyboard there. Now, sometimes it will list all the notes, so C, D, E, etc. But if I click on this button here called Pitch, I can change that. So now it lists letters on my QWERTY keyboard. So now if I use the bottom row of my keyboard, my typing keyboard, I can play those notes in. So Z, X, C, B, B, N, M, comma, full stop, etc. So I can use that bottom row of my QWERTY keyboard to play music in. Another really nifty feature is this tab here where it says Off. If I click on that, I can change to any number of scales, and there'll be lots of reasons to do this, and maybe we'll cover some more in later videos or speak to your teacher about them. But for now, I want you to pop over to Major Pentatonic. So if I click on that, loads of notes have disappeared. That's because, as we've learned before, we don't need to be using these black notes if we're in C major. They can sound a bit naff, a bit wrong. So if I put it on the major pentatonic, it basically just gives you the notes that are going to sound good. Again, if I click on this pitch icon here, it goes from what notes it is to which letter on my keyboard it is. So I'm just going to use the first 5, and that's what I'd recommend you do. Z, X, C, B, and N. If I use those in a combination, I can record a bass line. Now, I'm going to hit record now, and it probably won't work, and I'll show you why in just a moment. So hopefully you could hear me typing there, but nothing actually happened. It's a little bit of a weird glitch in BandLab. Sometimes this happens, sometimes it doesn't. But basically, once you've hit record, you just need to click on just about anything in the tab down here where the keyboard is to just make it wake up. So if I hit record, I'm just going to quickly turn the pitch on and off. So I think what you saw happen there was that I hit record, I quickly rushed over my mouse to click pitch on and off, and then started playing. Maybe you want to give yourself a little bit longer of a lead in. If that wasn't going to work, I could have just dragged my regions here back a bar or two to give myself some more time. And then I can start recording there. Now the bass line that I just played in, I just used those first 5 notes, and I was just making it up. And some of the notes worked really well, some of them didn't. Let's have a little listen. In fact, I'm going to double click on it now so I can see those notes as they appeared here. I like that first couple of bars. I don't mean that note sounded very good, so I'm going to move it to another note. But before I do that, I'm just going to quantize it. So zooming out, selecting everything I just recorded, going down to quantize, changing it again to 1/8, and click quantize. So that note I didn't like was here at the start of bar 4 now. And I'll just change it to another note that I've played before. So maybe the note lower, if I line this up, it's a D. I'm already on a D, so I'm going to go one lower than that, down to the C. See how that sounds. I think that sounds much better. I'm just going to stick with those first 4 bars because they're a nice unit. So now I've fixed the notes that didn't quite work. When you're using the QWERTY keyboard, sometimes notes end up quite a lot shorter than others. So you can just play around with dragging some of those out to make them sound a bit more natural. Like this one here, I might decide to make it a little bit longer. Or I might decide to make some bits of it really punchy. So I select these 3 notes, just make them a bit shorter. And now I'm going to play it one more time, and hopefully it'll sound a bit different. There you go. That's how to create a pentatonic bass line in BandLab.